Hey Misfits, Toni Craft here. Today we're going to do a tutorial on how to make your own open bezels out of clay to then use UV resin in. And I went with a Valentine's Day theme because it's close to Valentine's Day and I thought you guys would appreciate that. So I made a nice little charm necklace out of polymer clay and UV resin. So let's get started. Leave me a comment below if you plan on making this project or a project like this. I would love to talk to you about it. Make sure you check out all my other polymer clay videos. I have quite a few of them, and I also have resin videos. And if you want to see more jewelry videos, I've got those too. Alright, so the supplies we're going to be using today is a UV resin. I went with a cheapo one because I'm just starting out in UV resin. I usually use a 2-part 48-hour one. So this is one of the cheaper ones that I found on Amazon. It's clear hard type. Okay, so I have my UV resin. I have my UV lamp, which is just a nail lamp. My polymer clay in 2 different shades of pink. Shape cutters. I have an ice resin opal inclusion that makes this really pretty sparkle. And I've got some cheaper just confetti that goes well with that ice resin. I've used this a couple times. And I do have a satin glaze to glaze the polymer clay. You don't have to do this, but it's a nice finish. And then I have some frog tape. I know a lot of people use washi tape for UV resin, but I don't have any, so. And I do have frog tape. So that's that. And then I just have some random tape and some random brushes and stuff. It's a pretty simple project for something this beautiful, I guess. Before we get started, make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit that little bell if you want notifications, all right? Let's get started. Alright, so for this project I am only using 2 colors of polymer clay. I have already conditioned them and rolled them out just for time's sake. If you don't know how to condition clay, there's lots of videos out there on how to do it. It's pretty simple. Basically you're just warming the clay up and stretching it out a bit. So the colors I'm using are Guava, which is this one, and this turns into this. Well, it doesn't change too much. It maybe darkens up a little bit. It's sort of a, maybe a bubblegum-ish pink. And then I've got Rose Quartz, which is a Fimo Effect. Sorry, I should have said the brands. This is a Sculpey Souffle, so it's nice and soft. And this one is Fimo Effect. So those are the 2 colors that I'm using. And I just have big square, little square, and a heart. So there's the beginning of our frame. Just make sure it's aligned. Okay, we're gonna save that little square. And there's our first frame. Alright, and that is everything we need for this whole project. Alright, so we're going to take our little frame here and just sort of make sure it didn't get bent out of shape in any way. You can smooth it out a little bit if you want. And at this point you're welcome to do it differently, of course. You can add texture to this. You could add all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to take 4 of my little dark pink hearts. Put a little dab of glue on there. I'm just going to glue each one in the corner, and this is a specific glue for clay. It's Sculpey Bacon Bond. And this stuff works really well. And then I have this teeny tiny little hole cutter. And now what I want to do is these are all going to be charms, right? So we want to place that little hole that our jump ring is going to go into. If I get this way, I'm just going to put a little hole in it. So I put these on parchment paper, I stick them in a preheated oven at the right temperature, right time, and that's it. So let's do that. All right, so the Polymer Clay bezel frames are complete, but I'm letting them cool, which is actually part of the curing process. What I'm gonna do is I have a stiff piece of paper, this is just a note card, and some frog tape. I'm just going to take a piece of frog tape and some regular tape, and I'm just going to tape this frog tape down as flat as I can, because this is what is going to hold down our frames while we cure the resin inside. So we want it to be as flat as possible. And once those are cool, we will stick them on here. All right, so now I've got my little frames. I'm just going to press it onto my tape so we get a good seal for the resin. I'm gonna do the same thing with all of these. Hey guys, just a quick interruption. If you have not subscribed already, please do that by hitting the subscribe button below and give this video a like. So now that we have our resin pieces stuck to our tape, we have our UV resin and we have our inclusions. So what I'm gonna do is cure an initial layer of resin down, and then we'll start doing our layers with inclusions. Okay. And you don't want to get too much in here because then you won't have enough room for your layers. So I just start with one big drop on the little guys and one big drop in each corner on the big guy, and probably one in the center. Okay. And I'm just using a crappy old paintbrush that I didn't wash off in time, so it's nice and stiff. And on the big frame, you just want to make sure that your resin is getting underneath the hearts as well. If you do have any holes when the piece is completed, we'll just flip them over and fill in any holes. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit easier if you just make sure they're filled in. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of pat it a little bit. Make sure the resin's gone everywhere, and then we just slip it under the lamp. All right, and take that out, and now that first layer is nice and hard, and now we can put our inclusions on top of our first layer. So these ice resin opals, if you've been using resin, you know about these. They're pretty awesome. So I'm gonna put a pretty thick layer because these tend to disappear once they get wet. And I don't mean technically disappear, they become translucent. Okay, let's add a little bit of resin. And we're just gonna do one drop per. Let's see how that works. Okay, again, again, just using my little brush to spread it out. Alright, perfect. And then I'm just gonna do one last top coat without any inclusions to get sort of that domed, nice resin feeling. All right, so we're gonna do one more cure on the front side, and then we're gonna peel them off and see what the backs look like. All right, so here they are completely cured on the front. Okay, and we are going to peel them off of here and see how the backs look. And you do get a bit of a texture from this tape, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to solve that in a second. So now we are just going to flip these guys over. I do have a little hole right here in the corner where the resin didn't make it, and right there. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in a little bit. All four corners, and then I'm going to put a little bit in the center there and push it around, and this is how we're going to make the back glossy again, even though it originally came off as having a texture from that from the tape. All right, and now these are ready for their last cure. So let's go ahead and stick it under, and we'll do that 90-second again. All right, so there is our finished cured charms, and they look great. So now, if you want, our last step would be a glaze for the clay. And again, you don't have to do this, but it does add a nice finish to it. So I'm just gonna show you that. This stuff it's pretty thick, and you don't have to be too careful with it. It does dry clear. And this stuff also dries really fast. It's 20 minutes for a full cure. Now those will be ready to work with in 20 minutes, and then you're gonna work with them any other way that you would work with a charm. Now what I did with mine was I used jump rings in rose gold, and if you do not know how to open and close jump rings properly, you can check out this video here where I show how to do that in a variety of ways. So I use jump rings, I don't know what size that is, sort of big, I guess. And then I attached the jump rings to a rose gold chain. Of course, you can use your charms however you want. If you already have a charm necklace, charm bracelet, or if you wanted to, you know, hang them off a safety pin or whatever. There's a million ways you can use charms. No matter what you do with it, you just made something really, really cute out of clay and resin, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And if you're making this as a gift, I hope very much that they enjoy it. And now you have an awesome charmed necklace that you can wear. Make sure you check out all my other videos. I have resin videos and polymer clay videos and jewelry videos. I've got all the videos, so stick around, subscribe. If you want to be alerted every time I post a video, hit that little bell. And if you want to see works in progress and finished projects, I do post over on Instagram quite a bit. So follow me over there at tonicraftshow. Let me know in the comments if you like this video and if you would like to see more like this video or of another type. I know people are always asking me to combine clay and resin, and I'm happy to do that. If you have anything specific that you want to see, please let me know and I will make the video. And a huge thank you to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you. You are the reason I keep doing this, all right? So thank you so, so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.